Hello, quick video here showing you how to get set up recording your class if you're hosting class in a tent outside. Middle and upper school have a batch of iPads that are available to check out if you're having class outside so that you can record your class and send it along to any of your SCH Flex or students who are unable to attend. For the specifics on how to check out an iPad, please check in with your division head or your divisional assistant. Once you have your iPad and you make your way out to your tent, you just want to set up your shot. Now, one thing to note, at the time of the filming this video, I do not have the tripods, but they will be available for you to check out alongside the iPads as well to set your iPad in and have it nice and stable for your recording. Then all you need to do is open up the camera app on the iPad. With the camera app open, the first thing that you want to check is to make sure that you are in video mode and not picture mode in the bottom right. And if you are in picture mode, just tap video. You'll see when you flip over to video mode that your aspect ratio changes a little bit, so it's important not to set your tripod until you're in video mode so that you can see what your shot will look like. And please forgive me for the jitteriness of this video. It's actually really hard to hold an iPad in one hand and record with your phone on the other. Last thing you want to do is set your brightness, and you do that by tapping on the screen. And depending on where you tap on the screen, it's going to change the brightness levels. So if I tap down here in the grass where there's low light, you can see everywhere there is higher light, it kind of looks a little washed out. If I tap in the highlight sections, it does bring in the darkness and the shadows a little bit more. You can also tap the sun icon, tap and hold, and if you slide your finger up and down, it manually adjusts the brightness exposure levels. So just experiment to find what you like most, set your tripod in the best spot, and you're ready to hit record. After you've finished filming your entire class, it's important to come back to the iPad and hit stop, and then it'll automatically save the video into the Photos app. Now that the recording is done, you want to AirDrop the recording to your laptop, so you start by having both of the devices near each other. Now before we AirDrop the file from the iPad to your laptop, there's two things that we want to check. But as a side note, you guys see how handsome my dog is? Okay, the first thing that we want to check is to make sure that our Bluetooth is turned on by clicking the Bluetooth icon next to the Wi-Fi and just making sure it's turned on. Next, you want to navigate over to Finder, choose the AirDrop menu from the left column, and down here on the bottom, if it doesn't already say so, please make sure that it is set to everyone. Now, returning back to the iPad, we want to open the Photos app. There's a couple ways you can access your recording. In the center, you see where it says Videos, you can tap that, or you can tap Photos in the bottom left, and in theory, the only things that should be on here will be your class recording, or maybe someone else's class recording because they forgot to delete it. Either way, you want to select your class recording. Then you want to tap the share icon, which looks like a box with an arrow coming out of it, and you'll see all the options of ways you can share this file, and we're going to tap AirDrop. It'll bring up any applicable devices, so you want to choose your laptop, which will be your username -fs. Now, going back to your laptop, in the top right, you're going to get a notification saying that something wants to AirDrop with you. So you'll choose Accept, and then I'm going to click this where it says Save to my downloads. We don't want to open it in the Photos app, we want to save it to our Downloads folder. At that point, I can go to my Downloads folder, I will see my recording is there once the transfer is finished, and then I can right-click and give it a name. Now, one thing to note is your class recordings will be pretty long, so the transfer might take a minute, 2, maybe 3. That's normal. Just let the iPad send it over to your Mac, and when it's done, you'll see it in your Downloads folder. Now that you have that renamed file, you can take that file, upload it to Google Drive, and share it with your students. We've talked about that a lot, so I'm sure you're all familiar, but if you need any help, just email us at tech@sch.org. Now that you have a copy of your recording on your laptop and in your Google Drive, the last thing that we would ask you to do is just delete the recording from the iPad before you return the iPad, and that's just to make sure that there's enough space on the iPad for the next teacher that's going to use it to record their class. When you go back to your iPad, you would just tap Done to dismiss the AirDrop window now that the transfer is complete, and in the top right, you have the trash can icon to delete that file. As always, any questions, let us know at tech@sch.org.